All right, guys, welcome to the show. Monday, October 10th. A lot of stuff going on today. In fact, I'm going to lead with some breaking news with the Russia and Ukraine war. Things are getting a wee bit out of hand, and that's probably a massive understatement. Then I got a lot of things that went sort of viral over the weekend, including Jon Stewart gets in a trans healthcare debate with the Attorney General of Arkansas. That was a very, very interesting back and forth, if I don't say so myself. And then we also have Kanye West's mental breakdown, which he was broadcasting for the world to see. In fact, he's been trying to get in front of as many cameras as humanly possible. So we'll talk about that and much, much more. So without further ado, let's jump into it here. So the other day, we had this huge news break that the bridge connecting Russia to Crimea was attacked. It was bombed. So I have a little video of it here for you. This is from BNO News. So there's two portions of it. There's the rail portion, and then there's the driving portion. So let's take a look at, it's just a quick 4-second video, but you'll see roughly what was going on. So you can see the rail portion is on fire. The bridge for cars is, basically it's taken out of commission. So there's speculation, there's talk about, well, who did it? Did the United States do it? Did Ukraine do it? Did Russia do it to then further justify, doubling down on an attack against Ukraine, or maybe justifying the use of tactical nuclear weapons? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I think the most likely scenario is that Ukraine did it. But either way, as of right now, I believe the rail portion is already fully functioning again. So this portion right here. I'm not sure about the civilian bridge. There's also other angles of the attack where you could see that there were some civilians who were driving across who were killed. Crystal was telling me that there's a video of, like a big truck that goes on the bridge. Apparently it may have been like a suicide bombing. It was like a bomb that was in a truck and, it blew up when it was however far across the bridge. So needless to say, this was a huge deal. And that led to Putin and Russian officials immediately making all kinds of threats, which is sort of par for the course at this point. But we got this article: Putin plots revenge after bridge blast humiliation. Western officials fear Russia might go nuclear after Kremlin warned of red line in Crimea as President Zelensky jokes about cloudy day in peninsula following bomb attack. Russian dictator plans to raise new hell in neighboring country after humiliation. Western intelligence officials even fear he may go nuclear after latest setback. Putin had warned that any attack on Kerch Strait would prompt Judgment Day. Zelensky jokingly said that Ukraine had sunny weather today despite clouds. Okay, so, man, it feels like we're tap dancing on the edge of a cliff, if you ask me. So then this happened. As I woke up today, perused Twitter, 75 missiles hit multiple cities in Ukraine as Putin unleashes his revenge. 75 missiles, including in the capital city of Kyiv. So one of the Russian missiles hit a playground in central Kyiv. Play this video here for you. Just leveled it. And there's the jungle gym. Man. There it is. Russia's defense ministry posted this video of a ship launching missiles on Ukraine and said it hit all the assigned targets. Guess that must include the children's playground, park, sidewalks, cars, and pedestrian bridges. They bombed today. Yes, there was another video that was floating around of, a civilian bridge that they hit. So let's see. I haven't watched this video yet. Let's see.
Сегодня российскими войсками нанесен массированный удар высокоточным оружием большой дальности по объектам систем военного управления, связи и энергетики Украины. Цель удара достигнута. Все назначенные объекты поражены. Сегодня российскими войсками нанесен массированный удар высокоточным оружием большой дальности по объектам систем военного управления, связи и энергетики Украины.
Here's a map of Russia's airstrikes all across Ukraine today. Here you can see them. So Lviv, whatever this city's name is, this one, Kyiv, and then you have plenty of stuff in the eastern portion of Ukraine as well. You could see explosion on the Kerch Strait, so I guess that's near to where the bridge is, you know. So Crimea was taken over by Russia in 2014, and they've basically held it since then. And so with Ukraine attacking the bridge from Russia to Crimea, that, you know, it almost looked like, is this Ukraine trying to take back Crimea now? Is that happening? Because there has been, you know, a series of advances that the Ukrainian forces have made. They've gotten back more and more territory over time. They've done way better than any, you know, analyst who I've heard comment on the situation. They've done way better than anybody expected. Certainly than including myself. I thought, honestly, it's just a matter of time until Russia effectively takes over the country. And they've been able to fight off Russia effectively for an extended period of time. But now you have a situation where Putin did the fake referendums. He's claiming these regions in the eastern territory of the country, and he's saying now they're Russian. Now we will defend their territorial sovereignty with all of our might. And then with the bombing of the bridge, you get the sense that it was humiliation on the part of Putin, and now he's lashing back out. And 75 attacks, all on the same day. Look, it shows you they have more might and more power than people realize, because, yeah, they could just lob bombs from a distance all day long because they have a superior military to that of Ukraine. And so now they're effectively doing that. And it ain't good, man. It ain't good. Also, we heard that I think the German embassy in Kyiv was also hit, which is another massive escalation. So I certainly do not like the trajectory of the war right now. And then we also heard that Russians said, oh, this is just phase one. So in other words, this isn't even, you know, our entire revenge. Like, we're just getting started here with our revenge. That's terrifying because, again, he's been endlessly, he's been endlessly bringing up nukes and saying, like, I'm not bluffing, don't try me. And so we're in a bad place, man. We're in a bad place. I wish I had a happier thing to end this story with, but I just don't. You see the tit-for-tat escalation, and I would say it feels like it's getting out of control, but it's been out of control for a very, very long time. We're just watching it unfold in slow motion. And historically, when you look at how we end up in world wars, it's a similar thing as to what we're witnessing now. I mean, World War I started with the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. And then one thing leads to another, all these treaties bring in all these other countries, and we have a world war. And now there's been a tit-for-tat escalation where, I mean, everything's spiraling out of control. The dividing lines are very, very clear. And I don't know, we got to step back from the brink, but it's going to require basically willingness to do that on the part of both parties, and it looks highly, highly unlikely. And that's not to muddy the waters as to who's at fault for what happened here, because the country doing the illegal and offensive invasion against a country that didn't attack them, they are to blame. But we got to find an off-ramp, and it's looking harder and harder to find an off-ramp. And so, not a good update that I'm bringing you this morning at all. But I will get to a story in just a little bit about how Biden made some comments, and he's inexplicably being attacked for it, even though the comments are the most reasonable things I've ever heard in my life. They're comments as it pertains to Russia and Ukraine. So, but anyway, there you have it. Hopefully I won't have more updates for you about this stuff, and it'll cool off, but that looks unlikely at this point. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.